For over 500 years, one civilization ruled a third of the entire world's population. They built roads that still exist today, legal systems that shaped modern law, and an army so disciplined it conquered everything it touched. This is the story of the Roman Empire. It started as nothing more than a small city on 7 hills along the Tiber River in Italy, around 753 BC. The Romans themselves believed their city was founded by twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, raised by a wolf. Of course, the truth is more complex. But that myth tells you everything about Roman identity. Tough, legendary, and destined for greatness. For centuries, Rome was a kingdom, then a republic. The Roman Republic, governed by elected officials called consuls and a powerful senate, expanded aggressively across the Italian peninsula. Through brutal wars, smart diplomacy, and an unbeatable military, Rome crushed rivals like Carthage in the legendary Punic Wars. When General Scipio Africanus defeated the great Hannibal, the man who crossed the Alps with war elephants, Rome proved it could defeat anyone. By 27 BC, the Republic had collapsed under the weight of civil wars and political chaos. Julius Caesar's assassination in 44 BC triggered a brutal power struggle. His adopted son Octavian emerged victorious, and the Senate gave him a new title, Augustus, the revered one. Rome was now an empire, and it was just getting started. Under Augustus and his successors, Rome entered its golden age, a 200-year period of relative peace and stability known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace. At its peak, under Emperor Trajan around 117 AD, the Roman Empire stretched from Scotland in the north to the Sahara Desert in the south, from Portugal in the west to Mesopotamia in the east. Over 70 million people, roughly 20% of the entire world's population, lived under Roman rule. The Romans were master builders. Their roads, over 80,000 kilometers of them, connected every corner of the empire. Their aqueducts brought fresh water to cities. Their architecture, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, Hadrian's Wall, still stand today, 2,000 years later. Roman engineers developed concrete, arches, and domes that revolutionized construction forever. Roman culture was a fusion of conquered peoples, Greek philosophy, Egyptian religion, Eastern luxury, Celtic strength. Latin, their language, became the foundation for French, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, and Romanian. Their law became the basis for legal systems across the Western world. When you live in a country with a senate, courts, or civil law, you're living in Rome's shadow. But empires that rise must eventually fall. By the 3rd century AD, Rome was cracking. The empire was too large to govern effectively. Corrupt emperors rose and fell. At one point, 26 different emperors ruled in just 50 years. The economy collapsed under inflation. The army, once Rome's pride, became expensive and unreliable, filled with mercenaries who had no real loyalty to Rome. Pressure came from all sides. Germanic tribes, the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns, hammered the borders relentlessly. The empire split into eastern and western halves to manage the chaos. The west continued to crumble. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. The Visigoths sacked Rome itself, the first time in 800 years that a foreign enemy had breached the eternal city's walls. The shock rippled across the ancient world. In 476 AD, the last Western Roman emperor, Romulus Augustulus, ironically named after Rome's legendary founder, was deposed by a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer. Just like that, the Western Roman Empire was gone. But the eastern half, the Byzantine Empire, survived for nearly another 1,000 years, finally falling to the Ottoman Turks in 1453. Here's what's remarkable. Rome never truly died. Its language became the Romance language. Its laws became the foundation of Western legal systems. The Christian Church, which Rome initially persecuted, adopted Roman organization and Latin as its language and spread Roman culture across Europe. The Holy Roman Empire, the Renaissance, even modern democracy, all deeply Roman in their DNA. Every time you use a calendar, that's Julius Caesar's Julian calendar. Every time a court holds a trial, that's Roman law. Every time you drive on a straight road, watch a gladiator movie, or use the phrase carpe diem, you're touching Rome. The Roman Empire lasted roughly 500 years in the West, and nearly 1,500 years if you count the Byzantine East. It shaped civilization so profoundly that we are, in many ways, still living in its echo. As the historian Edward Gibbon wrote, the fall of Rome was not just the fall of an empire, it was the end of the ancient world itself. The Roman Empire, born from a city on 7 hills, built on iron and law, it became the mightiest civilization the Western world had ever seen. Its fall changed history forever. But its ghost? Its ghost still walks among us. If you find this fascinating, make sure to subscribe for more stories of history's greatest empires. Next up, the empire that conquered more land than anyone in history and did it in just 60 years, the Mongol Empire. You don't want to miss it?